Hi everyone, Charmaine here, and I'm back with another video. Today I will show you how I dried these flowers using silica sand. But of course, before we jump right onto the video, may I invite you to click a subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. So let's get started. To do this method of drying flowers, you will need silica sand. I will put the link down below. I got this one from Shopee. So I got 500 grams for 187 pesos. And I'm going to dry my flowers in this glass jar. Most tutorials use a flat tub, but I thought I'd give this one a go as I think I could maximize the space better with a long jar going vertical rather than a tub that goes horizontal. And then of course the flowers that I will dry, just a bunch of flowers that I handpicked from the garden. I don't know what their names are. And a bunch of carnations that I got from our flower shop here in Davao City. I watched a couple of videos and read a couple of blogs. And in this vlog, I'll just share with you the process of how I got from point A to point B. So I prepared all the flowers. I cut them as I think I would want to see them or use them when they're finally dry. And then as for the big blooms, I just cut them closest to the base of the flower. So I still have maybe a centimeter of the stem left. And I cut a couple of fillers as well. Now the next step would be to arrange the flowers in the jar with the silica. So I started by pouring a bottom layer of the silica sand onto the jar, and I picked up my small pieces and tried to arrange them flat. So the whole concept of drying flowers using silica sand is to ensure that the flower is surrounded by the silica sand, because silica is a compound which will absorb moisture from the flower. So you have to always keep in mind that the flower or the petal must be surrounded by as much sand as possible. You want to cover all of the surface area of the flower just to make the whole drying process more efficient. As you can see, I did mine in layers, so I just arranged a couple of the flowers and just filled in the sand as I went. And I just repeated the whole process. It's more of like a cake, or if you're familiar with creating refrigerator cakes or mango floats and stuff. So I poured in a bit of sand, put in a bit of the flour, covered it up a bit, and when the bottom flower was covered up, I just added more flowers to the top. Silica is the same thing that you find in bags or shoes. So basically, they absorb moisture. One of the things that I learned when I was reading about silica gel is that you should get the smaller one. So using silica sand is way better for drying flowers. Otherwise, you can also use the silica beads, the ones that are larger, but they tend to leave like bumps, or they tend to impress their shape upon the flower or the petals. So for drying flowers, silica in the form of sand is best. So this is what the jar looked like when I filled it halfway already. As you can see, I tried my best to make sure that the entirety of each flower is covered with silica sand. I also used a stick to move the sand around, just so even the petals that are faced up against the glass had as much silica sand on them. So this is what my final jar looked like. Then I grabbed my chalk marker and just put in the date. So this was done on the 25th and I opened this up on the 29th. Instructions on the internet says that the drying time will be 2 to 4 days. So this morning I took out the jar and I was super excited to check out how the whole thing turned out. If you notice there is a change of color in the sand, you will see it better later. But the blue pellets included in the sand are actually indicators. When these indicators change color, in this particular video it changed to a pink or like a light purple kind of color. That means those beads are already saturated and they won't be able to absorb moisture anymore. But as you can see in the sand, there are still a lot of blue pellets all over. So from what I read, as long as there are still these blue pellets, you can easily reuse the sand again to dry more flowers in the future. So this is the leftover sand that I have. I'm just trying to take out as much sand as I can from the jar because, I would want to reuse this gel again. At this point, I cleared out most of the sand and it was super exciting to look at how the flowers have dried, and as you can see, they retained a lot of the color. So I wanted to keep the sand. I cleared up any debris and made a paper funnel and just poured in the extra sand that I have, just so that I can use this again some other time. Now it's time for an up-close look of how the flowers turned out. So I'm turning up the audio of this video so you can hear how the flowers crunch and how dry it is. Understandably, there is still some sand in between the petals, so I'm just shaking them off. But honestly, as you know, I have a lot of videos on here about drying flowers with different methods, but this one takes the cake. It has kept the color and the substance of the flower. I mean, you can feel that the flower is still firm and it is dry, like it is really dry. But I'm not sure if it will actually keep this vibrancy in terms of the color over time. I'm not sure if it's going to continue to oxidize, but I can tell you that compared to the ones that I just hung dry, these flowers are just so pretty and their colors, I mean, this method is the best method that I have ever tried so far, and I will indeed do this again. Anyway guys, I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments if you're wanting to try this one or if you've tried this one before. Thank you so much for watching this video through till the end. I will see you in the next one. But for now, take care and keep safe. Bye!